Hey everybody, what's up? How's your weekend going? In this video, what we're going to go over is the market breakdown for the coming week, pre-market analysis, if you may. We're going to look at a couple of pairs, mostly the major pairs, DXY, obviously the major tools, JPYX, some of the pairs, commodities like gold and whatnot. So if that sounds interesting to you, please do stick with us until the end. Don't forget to subscribe, like, give us a comment below on what you think of the video, and turn on that bell notification so that you'll be notified whenever we release content in the future. With that being said, let's get it. So we're going to start with DXY. Obviously, let's start from the weekly perspective. So let's remove first these. Obviously, as we understand, the week is now come to an end. We need to have a fresh view on the pair. Okay, cool. So this is from the weekly perspective. Obviously, since last week, the move that we were anticipating to see happen was prices retracing here before taking off, or once they reach here to break down and continue the bearish structure. So last week prices just didn't have that much momentum, obviously, and as you noticed, last week we didn't really get any trade on the US dollar, and as you can see, the pair literally didn't have any momentum. So there was literally no move whatsoever. So our bias stays the same. We'll be anticipating to see a retracement before we get that continuation, or break below here. If the momentum comes down hot, we'll be looking for that break, retracement, and a continuation. Now, last week we had a lack of momentum, so let's go to the daily. As you can see here, the bears are kind of kicking in. Right? So they're trying to push lower, they're trying to push prices to go lower. So what we should be looking for, or where our entry points will be, as you can see on Friday, there was the influence of the NFP and prices went low, like with a very strong momentum. Now, what we should be anticipating is for prices to come break below this before we actually take our entries. So our entries will be somewhere here. After the break and the retest, we'll be looking for entries somewhere here. Now, we'll only be taking entries once prices break below this structure. If they don't break below this structure, we aren't going to take any trades because the structure will still not have confirmed to be bearish. As you can see here, these are the lows and they still haven't been broken. So until they're broken, we're not going to be taking any moves on this thing. We got JPYX. Oof, this we're anticipating to see prices break above here, retest, and continue pushing higher. And as you can see, let's start from the weekly. As we always say, you gotta start from the weekly. Now, with the weekly, you can see that prices have confirmed with this solid bullish momentum that prices are now having a bullish run. Like with this is a morning star. This is a morning star pattern. This bearish candle, doji, and then this bullish engulfing. That's a doji. That's a morning star pattern. That's a beautiful bullish confirmation candlestick. So that means for the coming week, we should be anticipating to see prices push all the way until here as our first targets. And obviously, I'm anticipating to see prices break above that, give us a retest before they continue. Now, as we know, in this past week, with this bullish move that actually anticipated, we were able to capitalize on it with a couple of trades. We only got 2 trades last week. One hit stop loss, the other hit take profit. Obviously, we ended up having a profitable week, but we actually utilized this move on the JPYX to get the second trade, which made us a winner on CADJPY, right? So next week, we should be anticipating to see a continuation on the JPYX and actually make more moves with the bullish run so that we can actually make more paper. Yeah. All right, cool. So now prices right now are at around this structure here. But we should be anticipating to see prices keep on pushing higher. So now we should be anticipating perhaps kind of a retracement a bit before we actually see a continuation. But either way, if prices give us a retracement, we're going to look for entries to take off because we actually understand like the bulls have much more control in this thing. So even if it doesn't, our entry doesn't matter if it will be above here or if it will be below here. Either way, we're going to take a trade. So if prices retrace, perhaps maybe a little bit before they take off, we're going to take that. If prices take off from where they stand, we're going to take the trade. JPYX, what we do know is that next week has a big probability of pushing higher, because from the weekly perspective, we have already seen prices giving us a bullish structure. So instead of focusing on the US dollar pairs, this week's analysis, we're going to be focusing on the JPY because we already have confirmations. So we want to look at the trades that have better opportunities with us, right? Now we're going to start off with USD JPY. Obviously, because we noticed that this is also influenced by the JPYX, so we should be anticipating to see prices push lower on this pair. Excuse me. Okay, cool. So as we can see here from the daily perspective, prices have broken below this structure. We should just be seeing continuations from here. This was the most recent lows. Prices have broken and closed below that. So obviously, we should be anticipating to see prices keep on pushing lower until they reach the targets down here, right? I mean, that's our move. That's our move. That's what we should be anticipating to see this coming week. All right. That's the first trade that we'll be looking at. UJ. We got another one, CHFJPY. Obviously, this we should be anticipating to see prices fall, but we still don't have a confirmation. So the coming week, we're not really going to be focusing on it because it's inversely correlated to JPYX, but prices are still pushing higher. So obviously, this won't be on the main focus of our trading coming week. We're going to skip that. EURJPY, obviously, you can see we have an inside bearish, and we have a bearish engulfing candlestick as our confirmation on the market structure. So this coming week, we should be anticipating to see prices keep on pushing lower from where they stand. Obviously, from the weekly, we already have that confirmation. From the daily, prices have broken below this low. Let me remove some of this noise. You can see this was the most recent low, and prices have broken and closed below that. So we should be anticipating to see a continuation. Right? This was a break and retest. This was a break and retest. Let's zoom out a bit. See, this was a break and retest. So we should be anticipating to see prices keep on pushing lower. These will be the first targets. Second targets will be down here. And I believe prices will actually reach on the second targets. So we should be anticipating to see a continuation on the bearish momentum or on the bearish side with the EURJPY. GBPJPY, same thing applies. Let's start from the weekly. We can see that on the weekly, prices have tapped this market structure and this descending trend line, closing the week with a bearish engulfing. So we should be anticipating to see a continuation on the bearish side. Prices, we should be anticipating them to push lower all the way until here. So prices, we should be anticipating them to hit these market structures as the first targets down here. And then after they hit here, a little bit of retracement for us to get second entries and swing with them all the way until here, the final targets. So that's my view on GBPJPY for this coming week. Hopefully it will play out the way we anticipate and get early entries. CADJPY. Okay, so this was the trade that we took. For those that missed it, it was a beautiful trade. Hit take profit on Friday, but that's old news. We got to remove that and focus on the future. So we're going to start from the weekly. Obviously, we can see the bears have engulfed almost 3 weeks of price market data. That indicates a very strong bearish impulse move after hitting this 0.38 Fibonacci key level and the market structure. So we should be anticipating to see prices keep on pushing lower until here as the first targets at about 90. So that's about 700 pips from where prices are right now. So it's a beautiful move. It's a beautiful move. We're going to continue looking for bearish trades on CADJPY. Currently, prices are on a support structure, but we do know that prices are still bearish. So obviously, we are going to be looking for kind of a retracement whatsoever. Now, if prices will give us a retracement, we're going to be looking for entries somewhere here for entries before you take that sell. However, if prices doesn't give us that retracement and they just break below, give us that touch, then we're just going to look for that continuation. So that's my view on CADJPY. Hopefully it will play out according to how we're anticipating it to play out, right? Cool. So let's look at the final pair of the day, gold. Obviously, as I said, we are not going to be looking at the DXY pairs because the DXY is still kind of in a fumble. But with gold, obviously, it's a commodity. We really have to look at it because it's also my favorite trading commodity. So we got to give it a shot. Starting off from the day weekly, we noticed that last week prices engulfed, closed with the bullish engulfing. But this week, you see, we have a large wick below the body, right? So this indicates that prices retraced all the way until the entry points here and then started taking off again. So that's crazy. But the general view stays the same, structure is still bullish. So what we should be anticipating is to see prices keep on pushing higher until prices tap there. So we're going to be looking for buys, obviously, on gold. As you can see, even here on the daily structure, this most recent high has been broken and prices have closed above that. So we should be anticipating to see a little bit maybe of a retracement on the structure. A little bit of a retracement perhaps before we get that solid bullish move. So that's what I'm anticipating on gold buys. Cool. So if you've watched the video so far, thank you for being with me until the end. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified whenever I release content. And we have our merch, we have our products. Go to our website that's linked in the description to get the course and the Black Forex Academy ebook if you want to learn more about our trading strategies and all that. So till next time, guys, I appreciate you all. Take it easy out there.